Good day, everyone. Welcome to this practical session where we'll dive into cable configuration, CAT6 cable configuration, how to configure HD camera using the CAT6 cable. The previous video we showed you how to configure CCTV camera, HD CCTV camera using coaxial cable. Now, this is CAT6 cable. Model 2, we introduced you to CAT6 cable where we showed you how the cable looked like. So I'm going to strip off this cable, and then we'll have, there is it. We'll have four pairs of cable, So these are the 4 pairs of cable. I'm going to take this off. Let me have this cutter and take this. Oh, this cutter. Oh, yes, okay. Here's the other new cutter. All right. So we have these 4 pairs of cable. You must first identify the color code you want to use for power and the color code you want to use for signal. So what I do mostly is to write it down. If I want to use orange and green for signal, I will state it down. If I want to use blue and brown for power, I will state it down. So know your color combination. You can choose to use blue and orange for signal, state it down. Brown and green for power, you state it down. In this video, I will be identifying the colors I will use. Whichever color you use at this terminal must be the same color code you use at the other terminal. This other terminal, both for the power and the signal. So now, in this video, I will be using blue and orange for signal and brown and green for power. So let's go over it again. Blue and orange for signal, brown and green for power. So if I'm using blue and orange for signal, which am I going to use as the positive and which am I going to use as the negative? So you have to identify. So in this tutorial video, we will use orange as the positive and blue as the negative. Then for power, you have to identify which you're going to use as the positive and also the negative. In this tutorial video, we will use green as our positive and we will use brown as our negative for power. Let's go over it again. Orange and blue for signal, brown and green for power. Orange positive for signal, blue negative for signal. Green positive for power, brown negative for power. So let's identify which accessories we will be using for this. So I told us about balun. This is one of the main accessories that is used for CAT6 when you are configuring using a CAT6 cable. Please take note of this. Take note of this. Some people use this, but please avoid this. As much as possible, avoid this. As much as possible, avoid this. It will still work, but many of them we've seen don't work for too long. As much as possible, avoid this BNC. As much as possible, avoid this BNC. So if you are using CAT6 configuration, I will advise you to use balun. So I'm going to show us how to configure using balun and the kind of power we are going to use. So let's start with the signal. What you will do first is you peel this off. Sorry. take this off and take this off. So the whole blue color, make sure you join the whole blue color. They are still in pairs. We'll have blue and white blue. Now on the balun, you see identify red and black. Some of the balun you see identify positive, negative. So on this one we'll have what, if you can see, we'll have red and black. Yes, so red goes for what, positive, and black goes for what, negative. And we said we are going to use orange as our what, positive, and blue as our negative for the signal. So you see now, this can be done. But let's zoom into this video. Let's zoom into this. Yes. So now we'll have our positive and our negative terminal. Then with our balun, you see, red for positive, black for negative. Red for positive, black for negative. And we selected our color for this class. We picked our color for the signal to be orange white for positive, blue, and blue white for what, for negative. So you see, this is it. So you press down, it grip, then press down. So this is it. Very easy, right? Easy. So this is what, using balun. This is our balun connector. This is it. This is 8 MP balun. This is how to configure using CAT6. Then for the power, we said we'll be using what? For the positive, green white for the positive, and brown white for what, the negative. So this is the color we are choosing. You can choose your color. This is not like a standard color. Choose your color and stick to your color. You mustn't follow this color. Just pick your color, which you want to use for the signal, which color code you want to use for the signal, which color code you want to use for the power, which one is going to be the positive and which one is going to be the negative. Just pick your color. You just unscrew, then positive goes into positive, you screw. Then negative into negative, then you screw. So this is how to configure using CAT6 cable. This works, and I think for long distance transmission, CAT6 works very well for long distance transmission of up to 100 and 100 plus meters. So this is the configuration using balun, and this is the configuration using this power head. So I told us you can choose to use this power head to configure the CAT6 cable. So now the next session, let's take again this other side and also configure. So at least with this now you can understand very well that whatsoever you do at this session, this is what you must do at this session. So now let's walk through the power. And I told you at the DVR section, you don't need power head. At the DVR section, you don't need power head. So I think we won't have to configure this. because this will be connected to the power pack. This particular one will be connected to the power pack, which I'm going to show us how to connect to the power pack. While these are the camera, this needs to power, sent from the power pack, sent from the power pack. This will send from the power pack to the camera section. So we agreed brown to be what? Negative, green will be what? Positive for the power. We agreed for the signal, orange will be positive, blue will be negative. At this section too, orange positive, blue negative. So you see, we'll bring the camera again. Let's see how this works. So we'll bring the camera again. Let's see how this works. Yeah. Cut. Okay. Yes. Okay. So let's take the review with our camera here. This is the signal terminal of the signal port of the camera, and this is our configured BNC connector. So you see, clip, clip. Then the power, this is the power. So the power, you see, the power, the signal. So in one of our practical sessions, I will be showing us how to connect this configured cable from your camera to the DVR, and also how to connect it to the power pack. So I think that is all with cable configuration, CAT6 cable configuration for HD cameras. So see you in the next video.